What is the truth you don't like accepting about yourself? I either think too high of myself or not enough of myself. There is no in between. Are you me? I do both at the same time. I am the world's most amazing piece of shit. I'm lazy and have no discipline. This is mine. If I have no structure, I just don't get anything done. I've had jobs with little to no supervision along with being 100% commission. I always failed. But if I have a job that I have scheduled tasks that must be met, I crush it. I could write a PhD about lying in bed, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm lazy. I can naturally be mean if I don't think carefully before I speak. The fact that you are aware of this makes you so much better than a lot of other people who will go around and be mean without even realizing what they're doing. Recognition is the first step to improvement, and the fact that you're willing to improve makes you a better person. Go you! I'm constantly plagued with the idea of fearing failure, but I am then constantly being lazy and then panic when I see others moving ahead. Holy shit, you are me. I graduated with my business degree last fall but have yet to leave my full-time grocery store job because I'm good at it, and it pays the bills. I'm so afraid I'm going to suck at and fail any new job I get, and then lose my stable source of income, so I just keep putting off applying. I've been using the pandemic as an excuse, but in reality, it's my anxiety about failure. Meanwhile, all my friends are making good money in real jobs while I'm still stuck as a wage slave making $13 an hour. I can get emotional over stupid things. I try not to, and I recognize it happening but feel out of control over it. In my experience, when I get emotional over things that seem trivial, it's because they are standing in for much bigger things. They're like the understudies for the real issues. This is what I try and do when I find myself being like that, upset because that person didn't say, "You're welcome," fast enough when I said thank you. Nah, you're not upset about that. You're upset because you feel like you did the right thing and weren't acknowledged. You don't like feeling unacknowledged because it makes you feel ignored. You don't like ignored because it makes you feel like you don't matter. And you hate feeling like you don't matter, because all the traumatic shit you've pushed through in life, a lot of it has been done to you by people showing you through their actions that you don't matter, and what you want or say is irrelevant. Does that make sense? These feelings may be triggered by something that seems really trivial. But a lot of the time, if you dig down asking yourself why does that matter, you find some core truths, and peace as well. But after you question the reason you feel like that, how do you actually not let it bother you? Good question. So the next thing I try to do is some positive self-talk. It helps me because after I recognize the trigger, I redirect the energy I am feeding it to something that is more productive. I worked on this short mantra with a therapist a few years ago. It's designed to contradict a lot of unhelpful thought patterns I have, namely that I am worthless, that I shouldn't expect nice things, and that I am unlovable. My mantra is, I am worthwhile. I am worth looking after. I love myself. I say this sometimes quietly under my breath to myself several times in a row so I can short-circuit any patterns of thought that say, "Yeah, that woman who didn't say you're welcome was right. You're a piece of shit, and you don't deserve jack squat. Stop whining," etc., etc., etc. You can make your own mantra like this, and you're very welcome to use mine. When I started doing this, I repeated it to myself hundreds of times a day. Literally hundreds. I had to. I was in so many destructive patterns. I would say it to myself all the way on my walk from home to the bus stop. To every negative thought or welling up of emotion, when I noticed them during the day. All the way back from the bus stop home. And again 10 times before sleep. It really, really helped. I am not special or more talented than anyone else. I am literally more or less average. I guess it's not bad, I don't hate it, but doesn't mean I like it. I'm not funny. Can you make yourself laugh though? Yes, but I laugh too hard and only at my own jokes. Well, as an individual who writes and performs comedy, screenplays, sketches, etc., I can tell you that you are funny. Comedy is incredibly subjective. But what I've learned over the years working for TV and film is that you should write and stay with what you know. If you can laugh about it yourself, there will be people out there who will laugh about it too. And if you can't find them, who gives a fuck? You think it's funny, right? So enjoy it. My fear of being judged in a situation suppresses my genuine thoughts about things, and it can make me awkward, unfunny, or seem like I'm trying way too hard. It's like all social interactions have some sort of performative aspect to them, and that thought is constantly broadcasted on some primal level of my consciousness. It causes me to cringe at myself before I even do anything. This typically occurs when I'm around anyone I'm uncomfortable with, and if I do forget about it, and something suddenly happens to draw my attention back to the meta of a given social situation, the feeling tends to double down. I'm not even antisocial, which makes it worse because I genuinely like being around people, but it sabotages a large amount of interactions for me and makes it hard to make friends. I give up very easily. I used to be a great student in school, not just with studies but everything else as well, because I'm a fast learner. But that didn't teach me the value of hard work because everything came easy. And now, in everything I do, if I fail, I just give up. The only thing you have to ask yourself in these situations is, what is at stake? Is it worth trying again? Was it not worth it to start it in the first place? Sometimes losing big time is the lesson you need to value the little things in life. If you haven't experienced such things, my advice to you is to start reading a bit more into philosophy. Stoicism is a great place to start. Good luck, my friend. I doubt my solid opinions and beliefs when other people challenge them. This isn't a weakness, it is a wonderful strength. Just imagine how different the world would be if, instead of clinging to firmly held beliefs, people actually listened to reason and changed their views when provided with evidence. Yes, life is a lot easier if you just know what you know and never have to doubt. And how do you know whether you are wrong or they are wrong? Examine the source of your beliefs and their beliefs. Logic and quality of evidence should carry the day, not appeals to authority, or common sense, or how many people believe it. Figuring it all out is a struggle worth having. I am a very overbearing person. I don't trust many people. I don't even like many people. But the few I do like, I find it very difficult to not try and involve myself in every part of their life, and get upset when they don't like that. I like to tell myself, and them, that it's because I care, and want the best for them, and for them to be happy. But I do understand how overbearing and annoying that can get. It's not my fault that I had a terrible life, but it's the only one I will ever have, and I often struggle to come to terms with the fact that I'll never get to say I had a healthy childhood, teenage years, and early adulthood. I ended up being very damn fucked up, and I envy the people who had it good or at least decent. I'm fine now, but I lost it on things you go through just as a kid, and it's hard on me. I'm below average intelligence. Everyone likes to think they're so smart because they can see inside their brains and see, with no interference, all their great and original ideas and thoughts. And I still think smart things sometimes. But in general, the majority of people I meet are substantially smarter than me. Not in terms of volume of knowledge or learned skills, just in that they are better at thinking through things logically, better at problem solving, and more reasonable. It's humbling. To be able to acknowledge your position like this is really one of the smartest things a person could say. Only a true intelligent individual can acknowledge other people's superiority. In my observations, people who are generally better at problem solving have simply solved more problems and have more experience at that type of problem. It takes a lot of effort compared to having someone solve it for you or just ignore it, but it does build on itself. This is anathema to our instant gratification culture, so it's hard to cultivate. You should also know that problem solving is mostly about Googling, identifying the problem, making mistakes, and recovering from being frustrated. I need validation and to be told I'm doing good. I never had any issues with it growing up, but it feels good now to know I'm doing a good job or the right thing, but I still feel ashamed for wanting to hear it so often. There's nothing wrong with wanting validation. It's important to understand this. There is no shame in it. However, what is important is where the validation comes from. It should come from you and you alone. Be happy with your work and be proud. It shouldn't matter if other people pat you on the back for it, or even tell you they hate it. It's your own feelings about it that matter. Work hard and be proud you did so accordingly, my friend. What is the truth you don't like accepting about yourself? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.